What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today I'm actually trying some Amazon nail polishes. So if you missed it, I've recently been doing some videos where I've been trying different nail art products from Amazon, and I figured it was probably time for me to try some actual nail polish from Amazon, because sometimes I see some polishes on there that the prices seem a little bit too good to be true, and I'm very curious. So I'm going to be reviewing some nail polish kits from a brand called AzureBeauty. I am partnering up with them for this video, but I did test these out extensively, and I gotta say I'm pretty surprised at the results. But before we get into the swatches, I do want to talk a little bit about the brand, and I also want to talk a little bit about the kits that they offer on Amazon. So AzureBeauty polishes are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they also say that they have no nail-damaging irritant ingredients. I did check the ingredients list, and I didn't see any of the harmful ingredients that I normally see that are listed, so it seems like they have a pretty good formula without any of those potential irritants. But they do actually have some additives in their nail polishes that are pretty good for nails. They have vitamin E, which is something I really love when nail polish has in it. I find it to be very strengthening, and I do love using vitamin E products on my nails. They also have aloe vera extract, Moroccan argan oil, which does help strengthen your nails, and they have something called propylene glycol in their nail polishes, which actually helps them level out on the nail, which is something that I find to be very important. And it can also enhance the absorption of ingredients in nail polish, which in this case is some pretty good stuff. So I think that's really cool. But yeah, so they sell these kits on Amazon. They have a few different options. I'm going to be reviewing 2 of them today, but basically their kits have 4 10 milliliter bottles of nail polish, 1 bottle of top coat, and then a mini bottle of nail polish remover, which is actually less expensive than some individual polishes. So I was really curious to see how these performed. So I'm going to be reviewing 2 different kits. I have their hot pink kit, and then I also have their cat eye nude kit, which features 2 magnetic nail polishes, and it does actually come with a double-sided magnetic wand. So let me dive into the swatches. There's 8 polishes total that I'm going to be showing you, and then I'll also show you the top coat and the remover, and then we can get into my thoughts on them and if I think they're worth it. So let's roll the footage. So I'm going to start off with the hot pink nail polish kit. There are 4 polishes in here. They're all different shades of pink, and I would say they all have a jelly formula that can be built up to pretty full coverage. The polishes themselves don't have names, but they are numbered. So this first one is number 1, and this one is a soft pink that has a very light silvery, almost white shimmer running throughout. Now it is a lighter pink color, but I wouldn't call this one a pastel shade. It's just a little bit more saturated than that, but we do have all of the silvery shimmer in there to kind of soften it up. I did start off with 2 coats. I loved the way that that looked, but you could still see a little touch of visible nail line. So in 3 coats, it did give me full opacity, but it wasn't patchy at all. So I could wear it in 2 coats if I wanted a softer look, but if I'm going for a more full coverage, brighter pink, I feel like 3 coats is perfect for that. The next color is number 7, and this one is a slightly deeper but still kind of a medium light pink, and this one is in a jelly formula. Now I feel like jellies can be tricky because sometimes they don't look nice until you reach full opacity, and that's something that I kind of struggle with because sometimes I like to wear jelly polishes as kind of a sheer wash of color, but I was honestly really impressed with all of these because I felt like they looked really nice as that sheer sort of look, and I didn't have to build them up. I actually loved the way that this one looked in 2 coats. We've got this almost peachy undertone to it, but it's still definitely a pinky color, and I can always build it up to a little bit more coverage in a 3rd coat. So you can see I actually overworked the 3rd coat a tiny bit, so it didn't start off very level, but you can actually see it start to level out as my nail polish dries. So I was honestly very impressed with these polishes self-leveling because I feel like that's not very common when it comes to less expensive colors. Next up we have shade number 8, and this one is a neon pink jelly. So I was really excited about this one. It actually ended up being my favorite of the set because I just love a neon jelly, especially in the summertime. It feels so fun. But what I think is really cool about these is they almost kind of remind me of that poly gel look where you have that sort of soft sheer wash of color over your nails, but you can still see a little bit of that visible nail line, so it's still like a a little translucent. So again, I thought this looked really gorgeous in 2 coats, and I feel like it was very level across the nail, so it wasn't patchy, but I did end up doing a 3rd coat just to see what that looked like as well, and I feel like I got a little bit more depth of color with that one. I also did test these beforehand to see how they worked with jelly sandwiches, and I'm happy to report that they do apply really nicely for jelly sandwiches. So if you want to see any of that, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is a really gorgeous shade in 2 coats, in 3 coats. Honestly, I could probably even wear it in 1 coat, but I really love this bright pink color, so I do like to wear it in more coats. And the 4th and final shade of this first set is number 9, and this one is a deeper pink shade. I would call this one sort of like a darker watermelon kind of pink, and again, it did have that jelly-like formula to it, but this one actually covered up my visible nail line in 2 coats, which I thought was really impressive. And again, the color is just really pretty. All of these shades kind of feel like just classic pinks to have in your collection, and I really appreciated the variety of different undertones that we got. Just for consistency's sake, I did try applying a 3rd coat for this color, but honestly, I don't think it made a difference. I definitely could wear this one in 2 coats, although of course if you have longer nails you might need a 3rd. But yeah, I was actually really impressed with the opacity of these. I do enjoy a jelly-like shine that still has nice opacity, so it's good to have that option. Now moving on to the Cat Eye Nude set, which comes with 4 polishes plus a double-sided magnet. This first shade is number 10, and this one is a light pinky toned beige nude color, and it does have a little bit of that jelly-like consistency to it, but I did end up getting full coverage in 2 coats, and I have to say I actually loved the way that this color looked on me. I am very warm toned, so I feel like the warmer undertones tend to suit me when it comes to neutral and nude polishes, but I actually really loved the way that this looked. It did have that soft pinkiness to it, and it kind of just had that feel of your nails but better. So I ended up applying a 3rd coat again just to show you what it looked like, but again, I do think that it worked perfectly for me in 2 coats, and I would just wear this one as a 2-coater. I also think that this color and the next color that I'm going to show you are perfect bases for a French manicure, especially if you have stained nails and you don't want to wear a sheer color as the base of your French. I feel like this is just such a beautiful shade to wear for that. And then next up we have shade number 11, and this one is a slightly deeper, more neutral beige brown shade that again has that slight jelly-like feel to it, but it did give me really nice coverage in 2 coats. This one, I feel like I could very slightly see my visible nail line at certain angles, so I ended up applying a 3rd coat, but again, I really like the way that this looks in 2. It's just very consistent across the nail, and you could also see, again, I didn't apply it absolutely perfectly, but it leveled out almost immediately as it started drying, so I feel like the formula is very beginner friendly on these. But yeah, this is another shade that I think would just be so beautiful as a base for a French manicure, just giving that your nude nails but better kind of vibe. And I like having that more neutral option, although I will say I do still think this one leans very slightly cool, but it still ended up working on my warm skin tone. And now moving on to the 2 magnetic polishes in the kit. This is honestly what I was the most intrigued by when it came to this brand, just because I feel like magnetic nail polishes tend to be a little bit on the pricey side. So the idea of having 2 magnetic nail polishes plus a free wand in a kit that costs less than $10 felt like it was a little bit too good to be true. So I was very curious to try this. This first shade is number 12, and this one is a brown magnetic nail polish. So we've got that classic almost white silver magnetic pigment running throughout, and then we also have this neutral medium brown base color, and I wanted to try it a couple of different ways. So first I tried it in the velvet or aura style, so I kind of just moved the magnet around my nail and it gave the polish a very velvety look. I have to say the magnetic pigment was very reactive and I was really impressed, so I loved that. Honestly, I also loved the way that this looked unmagnetized, and sometimes I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to my magnetic nail polishes, so I appreciate having that option as well. But I also wanted to try it in the classic cat eye style with the magnetic stripe that kind of looks three-dimensional across your nail. By the way, if you're not familiar with magnetic nail polish, I do have a really big video on basically everything you need to know about magnetics, so I will link it up in the cards. But basically I just applied a third coat to magnetize, and I held the magnet over my nail for a little while, and when I pulled it away, it revealed this really cool three-dimensional stripe, and then we have this gorgeous brown jelly background, and I think it looked amazing. And then the final shade of the kit, last but definitely not least, we have number 13, and this is the other magnetic polish in the kit. This one is more of a blush tone, and I found it really interesting because unmagnetized, it definitely gave off a pinky color. It does look like a blush nude kind of shade, and again, I love the way that it looked unmagnetized, super cute. But once I magnetized it, especially in the cat eye style, I noticed that it did become more of a nude polish. It definitely had that brownish tone to it, so it's really interesting to play around with these kinds of shades and see how they change once you magnetize them. But of course, I wanted to try first the Aura Velvet kind of style, and for this one I just went a little crazy and I pulled all of that silver white magnetic pigment to the top. You can make it look a little bit less intense if you want, but I just wanted to show how reactive that magnetic pigment is. I was really impressed with that. And then here I am showing you what it looked like in the cat eye style, and you can kind of see how it shifted from being a more pinky tone into being a pinky toned brown kind of color. Once I magnetized it, you can definitely see that reddish pinky coloring, but you can also very much see a little bit of that brownish tone in there. So definitely fun to have both options. I think they're both gorgeous, and it's also fun to play around with these. Now, before I show you the comparison chart, I wanted to really quickly show you the top coat and the remover in the kit. I don't normally review top coat or remover, but I did test out this top coat, and I have to say, I was shocked at this. It applied so nicely. It gave me that gel-like finish, and it dried so fast, which are the two things that I look for in top coats. I don't really wear nail polish for very long. The top coat, I believe, is meant for up to 7 days of wear. I did not wear it for that long, but I was impressed with how it applied and how it wore for the couple of days that I wore it. It felt very nice. And then just a quick look at the mini remover bottle. I believe this is a non-acetone remover, which I'll be honest, I don't normally love those because I feel like it's pretty hard to remove my manicure, but I have to say I was pretty pleased with how this one worked, and what I especially loved about it is how moisturizing it felt. I feel like a lot of times with removers, they really dry me out, especially my cuticles, and it becomes such a hassle, but this really made my nails feel so good. So really impressed with this. So here are the two kits that I reviewed. The top row is the hot pink kit, and the bottom row is the cat eye nudes, and I am very, very impressed with this brand. I think that the quality is really nice, especially for the price point. The colors are simple but classics, and I think that everybody should have these types of shades in their collection. And what I really appreciate is the ability to try these different types of formulas without committing to buying a very expensive bottle of nail polish. I know a lot of people feel like magnetic nail polish is kind of an expensive commitment if you're not sure if you like it. So being able to get two plus the magnet for less than the cost of some magnetic nail polishes just on their own is really nice. So you can kind of test it out and see how you feel about magnetic nail polishes, but also having the option with the jellies, especially in the pinks kit. I feel like it's nice to have a low cost option just to test out these different types of formulas and play around. And like I said, you can definitely play around with jelly sandwiches with these as well, and it works really nicely. But honestly, I'm just impressed overall. I think the formulas are really nice. I loved how self-leveling they were. Honestly, I have praised more expensive brands that were less self-leveling than these, so I'm just really pleased overall. So yeah, those are the AzureBeauty nail polish kits, and I have to say I am shocked and impressed. I do tend to be a little bit more forgiving when nail polishes are very inexpensive, but I feel like I don't even need to be be more forgiving of these because they are just good quality. And especially for the price, breaking it down, it ends up being less than $2 per bottle of nail polish. And I just feel like that quality is very impressive, especially at that price point. And I also just think that having an inexpensive option to try out magnetic nail polish is super cool. Honestly, for the price of some magnets, you can get a whole kit with everything that you need. So I think that's awesome. And I really do appreciate the accessibility. I mean, not everybody can afford to be buying boutique nail polishes. So it's really nice to be able to have a good quality option, especially with so many strengthening ingredients that's available for an inexpensive price. I also have to say I was very impressed with the nail polish remover. I found it to be very hydrating. A lot of times the removers that I enjoy tend to really dry out my skin, and I do have to wash my hands and then moisturize them after. But this one ended up being a really good quality, and I found that a little bit went a long way. Now, just a quick recap, the kits, like I said, they come with 4 10ml bottles of nail polish. They come with 1 10ml bottle of top coat and then a mini 20ml bottle of nail polish remover. All of the polishes do come with the wide flat brush that has a rounded tip, which makes application super easy. And they also actually have pretty cute bottles. I love the caps of these. It's kind of this like rose gold shimmery cap. So it actually looks like a fairly expensive bottle, which I like. But these kits retail for $9.99 USD on Amazon. I will link them down below. So overall, I have to say, I really do recommend these kits. I think they're very good quality. I love that they have the strengthening properties in them. I think they actually have really nice classic colors. And like I said, I really appreciate them having the cat eye as well. I think that's just really nice to have a very inexpensive option to try them out. And I really hope that they make more of these different kits because I would love to see them in some other fun colors. But I'm so curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of these kits? Would you purchase either of them? Which color is your favorite? Leave it all in the comments. We can chat about it. And if you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my royal astronomer Amanda M, as well as my cosmic admirals Ken, Rosie, and Angel. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question is a would you rather. So, would you rather get the hiccups every other hour or have to end every sentence you speak with "I do declare"? So this is actually an interesting fun fact about me. I don't think I've mentioned it before, but I think having the hiccups is my least favorite thing in the world. I don't know what it is about it, but whenever I get the hiccups, it honestly can ruin my day because I feel like they never go away. I absolutely hate it. I try everything under the sun to make them go away. I feel like I just like go through all of those crazy things that people say, like look at the sky and say pineapple, or like drink a bottle of water upside down, or have somebody scare you, or hold your breath for X amount of seconds. Like I do all of that because I'm so desperate to get rid of my hiccups every single time. I hate having the hiccups. So I would choose to not have the hiccups every other hour. I don't care what the other option is. That's the one I would never pick. But let me know your answer to the would you rather question down in the comments. We can chat about it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.